Yeah, welcome back. When companies advertise digitally, there are a lot of potential risks, and a company like the listed company, OpenDNA, works to ensure the digital experience doesn't backfire on businesses. Joining me is the CEO, Shah, to explain what this company actually does so we can work out its market potential. Jay, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Peter. Good to be here.
Yeah, now, in a nutshell, what does OpenDNA do?
Let me put it into context. If you're a publisher, and we've actually had a number of publishers part of our systems, publishers actually make money through advertising, and the more your readers actually spend time on your platform, the more articles that they're going to read. The more articles they read, the more money you make because you can serve more ads. Now, the average time that a publisher or a reader is on a publishing platform is about 2 to 3 minutes. We've actually seen by using our technology that's actually increased to about 8 minutes, and the average number of articles that someone reads is almost 10 times more than they used to read before personalization. That massively increases the revenue potential for a publisher. So we are an artificial intelligence company. For businesses, we enable businesses to better understand their customers so that from a granularity perspective, they know exactly who that individual is. And in real time, being able to personalize every experience and the entire journey for that user, from the right product placements, right ad placements, right news placements, or even video placements for that specific user. So any business that really wants to get to know their user would be looking at using OpenDNA.
All right, so Jay, so what you're saying then is that, I thought the key word you threw in there was personalisation. Is this an important part of getting to know the person who ventures onto a website, and through personalisation you can keep them there longer?
Absolutely. Think about it this way. If I was to give you something that you would be very interested in, you're going to engage with that. Now, let it be content or product. If I give you something that you're not interested in, you're going to throw it away. Personalization is a big part of this thing. If you know enough about your customer, you know exactly what to present for that customer. So they're going to constantly keep engaging with your brand. And from a brand perspective and a business perspective, it's actually cheaper to increase the engagement for your customers. I mean, the customer retention is a lot cheaper than user acquisition. So if you know a lot about your customer, you can make sure that you're delivering the right things to that customer. And in fact, you're removing the noise. You're removing the things that the customer that that would not be interested. So personalization goes both ways, making sure that they get the right things and also removing the things that are not relevant.
Yeah. Okay, so that's one aspect of it. But in my research, I was seeing that you said that sometimes an advertiser can be linked up with the kind of products they don't want to be linked up with. So you're able to ensure that a brand won't be damaged by being connected to another product.
Absolutely. As users, we've always seen things like this in scenarios where if we buy a product on a particular website, and we see this across various different brands, you buy a product on a particular site, and that same website will engage you with very similar products. And I've seen that very recently with my personal experience. I bought a television 6 weeks ago, and I go back to that major e-commerce site, and they're showing me more televisions. I'm not a retailer, I'm not a wholesaler, but yet I'm getting a lot more TVs being pushed out to me. Or you're an airline company. Your customers just bought an airline ticket, and 3 days later you're going to send them a newsletter saying, "Hi, Peter, here's some great fares to the destination you've just purchased." We as users get to see this every single day. With OpenDNA, that noise disappears.
But you're also pointing out how annoying it is for you to receive more information about TVs. But I think one of your examples said that one brand could be linked to a porn site, which of course is not what most people want. Well, yeah, if you're in that game, maybe it's all right. But if you're not in that game, that could be very damaging.
Yes, but think about personalizing that aspect of that industry. That it'd be very, very interesting. But yes, you're right. I mean, but if you knew more about your customer, then you'd know exactly what to really give them and what not to give them. And from a user perspective, you're getting the best experience. And we've seen this in the businesses that are powered by our technology. We've got publishers that are using our product. In Australia, we've signed a deal with Endeavour Drinks, which is owned by Woolworths. From an e-commerce perspective, we're working with a good Android manufacturer. We've embedded our technology in there. We're working with one of the fastest growing business intelligence companies in the United States. These are companies that are looking to figure out and find out more about their customers. So, and if they keep knowing more about their customers, they can personalize every aspect of the entire journey for that customer. I mean, there are reports written by Gartner, Forrester, Accenture. Personalization is key, and if your business is not taking on board personalization, you're going to suffer. And we've seen that in the industry, and you keep seeing that day in, day out.
How long has the business been open, or publicly listed at least?
We listed the company in November last year, and all of this year was about building out the team. And within a very short space of time, we're now in Australia, Singapore, Cape Town, and California. And we've started working with publishers, e-commerce brands. We're in detailed discussions with major telecom operators, talking to handset manufacturers, business intelligence companies. So we've expanded very, very fast as an organization. But the company started in 2014, and between that period and now, we've won awards. We were nominated as the top 200 companies of business of tomorrow by Westpac. In 2015, we were voted as the company most likely to grow exponentially at an Amazon event in California. So it's been a long and an exciting journey over the last few years.
Well, how would you estimate the market's knowledge of what you do to get, to give us an idea of what your potential for growth would be?
It's a very interesting area. We are industry agnostic, so you can use our technology in multiple different industry sectors. You can use it in entertainment, into video streaming, into publishing, into e-commerce brands, into communications or telecom. One of the things is, trying to understand a single user. I started looking into what are the kind of factors from a psychological aspect. How do we as users make decisions on a day-to-day basis? And it came down to 8 factors: what our interests are, what our values are, the people we're connected to, the time in the day, location, weather patterns, financial status, and health. We're the only company that figured out exactly how to map all of these 8 factors together and create the most powerful psychographic profile or personality profile for a user. So if you can embed this into hardware products, into e-commerce engines, into content management systems, into video streaming platforms, and increase engagement, the potential is pretty amazing.
But would it work for a business that, say, was in complementary medicines?
Medicine's a very interesting subject area. There are a lot of big companies that have been targeting personalization in medicine. This is an area that we haven't touched as yet. It's pretty complicated, from looking at the medications that you're going to be looking at providing to that patient, to diagnosing exactly what ailments that they have. But there's so many factors you've got to take into account, and medicine is a very complicated area. So we're not targeting medicine at present. That will probably come in time to come.
Okay, mate. Thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much.
That's Shah from OpenDNA, an interesting company.